Hey, 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 it looks like we're live. How are you doing today? Happy Friday. Come on in and let me know if you are live, if you're joining me live, drop into the comments and let me know who you are, where you're joining me from, whether you're new, whether we know each other. And if you are catching this on the replay, drop me a little hashtag replay. Let me know you caught it and what you think of the session. And for those of you who maybe don't know me or who need a little reintroduction, you're very welcome here. My name is Emma Starling. I'm the Inner Smile Coach, and this is the Daily Tap. And I'm a master trainer in emotional freedom technique, EFT for short, otherwise known as tapping. And I'm on a mission to create an army of tapping practitioners to get this beautiful modality out into the far corners of the earth. And I can only do so much as one person. So I spread the word about tapping here, there, and everywhere. I train people to do it, and then I help them build a business that is amazing. And so you are at the very forefront of how to feel better naturally, no matter what's going on around you. And the way that we do that here, hi Charlotte, good to see you. The way that we do that here is by tapping a little bit. It's not a therapeutic EFT session as such, but what it is tapping along with certain words and phrases, maybe affirmations if you want to call them that, to help you get a few minutes of tapping into your life every day, because that is where the compound effects really start to build up. Okay. So if you're new to this, put new in the comments so that I know. If you've tapped with me before, then you'll know the process. What we do is I've pulled a couple of Oracle cards from the Energy Oracle card deck from Sandra Ann Taylor. If you're not interested in cards and you don't really, it's not your bag, don't worry about it. Don't overthink it. Just think of it as I'm reading out some phrases that you're going to repeat and see how you feel when you do it. But what I'm going to ask you to do is, as I tell you what the cards are about, I'm going to ask you to tune in physically to what you feel in your body as you hear me talking about it, because there's always an emotional, physical link. Right? You might get some resistance coming up. You might think, yeah, whatever, or easier said than done, or whatever. Okay, there's a ton of things that you might feel. Hi, Kelly. Good to see you. Hi. Hi, Alan. How are you, darling? I had to do a double take on your name there for the minute. I hope you are well, my love. Long time no see. Let me just get that gone. Okay. Yeah. So the cards that, hi, Charlie, the cards that fell out. Let me just get rid of Facebook a minute because it's pinging. The cards that shot out of the deck this morning, and I've already done this extended version in my expansion lounge because of timing, was the Temple Path. Okay. Now, don't get lost in the woo aspect of this. If you're not that woo, it's all good. And walking away, right? I'm going to tell you briefly what these cards mean, because this is an incredible message. If you look at this woman on this picture, or this person on this picture, that person is walking through a gate, right? And they're closing the gate behind them. And they're walking into, in front of them, if you can just see it that way, it's like unclear. It's like a mist. So they don't know what they're walking into, but they are closing the gate firmly. Hey, Kim, on what's behind them, right? Makes sense? And when that mist clears and they've gone through the gate, look what emerges: the path, the temple path. This is the path that your soul had in mind for you. This is the thing that you are maybe not sure about, haven't been sure about, you wanted to get clarity on. And look here as well. Can you see these like golden, orby, shiny things? That's your support system. That's maybe angels, archangels, spirit, ancestors, guides, you name it. And look how clear they are. They are waiting for you. What that means is that you have a lot of support and you only have to ask. Okay. Now, again, it's up to you what you take from this, right? But I'm going to tell you what the cards mean and you can make up your own mind. All right. So the temple path came out first, and then the how card, the second card, is like how you do that. So in order to find your clear soul path, there is something you need to walk away from or let go of. Okay, whether it's a place, a person, a situation. Hey, Audrey, a habit, a behavior, doesn't matter. There's something you need to let go of in order to access that true path. Okay, does that make sense? Put a yes in the comments if that makes sense for me. So I recently lost my son. Oh, my darling, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry for your loss, Kelly. Let's all lift Kelly up if we can. Okay, send her some love. I can't imagine what you're going through. And I'm hoping that this tap will help you a little bit just to kind of calm the heart and send you some strength. Okay. So let's have a look at this. So the first one, the temple path, it talks about spiritual purpose and support. So if you're not clear what your spiritual purpose is, what you came here to do, that's okay. Lots of people aren't. It just means that this card says that because it's like a winding path at the bottom, it means that you're sort of on an evolution. You're on your spiritual evolution at the moment. So you don't have to know, right? You don't necessarily have to know. There is nothing wrong in not knowing. Thank you, Ellen. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. This is all part of the plan. Everybody goes through this, right? It's a winding path, but your soul had a plan for you in this lifetime, and you are finding your path now. It's coming clear, right? And it talks about it's all part of the process, right? It's all part of the heading, the direction that you're heading in, and the choices that you make now are important for your personal growth, right? And where you go. So the choices you make are going to involve walking away or letting something go, right? And it can be a very life expanding time, notwithstanding grief or anything like that that you're going through. I get that. That's completely different. But just, this is about connecting. It's about personal earthly priorities and your spiritual connection and finding a way to honor that, right? And the affirmation for this card that we're going to tap in is, I open my heart to my spiritual truth and a deeper connection with spirit. Guidance and inspiration come freely and easily to me, right? And then the next card is 27, which is about letting go and moving on, right? So this talks about walking away from an existing situation, whatever that is for you. It's closing the gate, walking away, potentially into a misty unknown future, right? Could be the time for you to make a decision. Might be something that you're finished with, maybe a career, a relationship, or an experience of some kind. The thing with this is that the familiarity of this current situation can be really enticing, because even though it feels shit half the time, right, it's safe to our brain because, it's keeping us alive. If we do something and we don't, and it doesn't kill us, then our brain deems it safe. Okay. So even staying in a crap situation or an experience or in a relationship or a job or whatever can still feel more comfortable than moving forward into the unknown. That's the way the brain works, right? So this is indicating that now is a good time to let go of an old habit, an emotional pattern, a false belief, a person, a situation, a job, relationship, whatever. Okay. So that you can move on to freer, healthier ways of thinking and relating to yourself, and so that your path can appear. Okay. So the affirmation we're going to tap in for this one is, it's safe and comfortable for me to move on. I consider all my options and then take action on my own behalf, and this, this is for everyday things. So where there is big grief and things like that, this session is not a therapeutic EFT session. And I'm not going to say that it's going to solve any deep issue like that. Oh, it's not an issue, but you know what I mean? Any deep situation. But it may just help people feel calmer in the moment, okay, and a little bit more connected. So let's just see. So what I want you to do, if you've never tapped before, just tap where I tap, say what I say and see how you feel. And when I say tap, what you're going to do is take 2 fingers and we're going to start on the inner eyebrow point right there. It's not up here on your forehead. It's right at the start of the eyebrow. These are acupressure points. They are the size, less than the size of a pinhead. Okay, so we have to be as accurate as we can. So 2 fingers and start at the start of the eyebrow. I open my heart to my spiritual truth. And then we go outside of the eye. So right on the corner here, it's not up on your temple like you see some people doing. It's right on the eye corner. And a deeper connection with spirit. I hear you, Alan. Yeah. It's been a hard time for a lot of people. Then we go round on the occipital bone, if you feel that bony ridge, right under your pupil. It's not down here on the cheekbone, as you'll see lots of people doing. It's right there. Guidance and inspiration. And then we go to under the nose in the midline. Come freely and easily to me. You can also do it side on if that's more comfortable, if you've got really long nails. And then the second part of the affirmation is we go to the chin. So again, in the midline, but in the crease. So in that bit there, it's safe and comfortable for me to move on. And even if that doesn't feel true just yet, lean into how good it would feel if it was, right? And then the collarbones. So trace your collarbones in, and where they stop, just drop down about an inch. There'll be a little dip. You want to be in there. I consider all my options. Then we go 3 to 4 inches down the side of the body from the armpit, pretty much on a bra strap line, and take action on my own behalf. And then top of the head is all around the top and the back of the head with sort of 4 fingers. Today, I choose to walk away, let go, and find my temple path. All right, and then we're going to finish just on the third eye. This is not a clinical tapping point, but just on the third eye between the eyebrows. So be it, and so it is. All right, take a nice deep breath. So, how did that feel? Come into the comments and let me know how that feels. Bearing in mind, it's, wherever you're watching this, it's probably a public page. So only share what you're comfortable sharing, right? That other people might see. But yeah, this has been, just coming back to what Kelly and Alan and probably countless others, myself included, have been going through in different formats, different ways. It's been a really tough time. The last month for me has been a shit show. There's been a lot of stuff, a lot of illness, injury, problems, issues, challenges, whatever. It's been a real tower moment. It's been a combination of the death card, the devil card, and the tower card, all in one hit, right? Everything falling away. Now, the essence of things falling away is that you can rebuild, okay? So as hard as this is, and I am not taking away from anybody or anything, what can you walk away from? What can you allow to fall away so that you can rebuild? And if now is not the time, that's okay too. You need to go through a grieving process. I get that. But when you're ready, just keep this in mind, that things falling away, with every ending, there is a new beginning, right? Because it's the cycle of life. And so there is the chance for new beginnings. We had a card a couple of days ago on the Daily Tap. It was about new, fresh new ideas and new beginnings. And then yesterday we had this. I've still got it out on my desk because it resonated so much with me. We had fork in the road. Again, you've come to a place where you need to go left or right. You can't. What this means is, it's not literally left or right. Do I go do A or B? It means there is a fork in the road, i.e., straight on is not an option anymore, i.e., the same path you've been on, right? You cannot carry on down the same path because it doesn't exist. So you have to pick. You can't go back the way you came because that's the same path back and forth. You have to pick, right? There is a fork in the road. This is can be a really tetchy testing time for people, right? It really is. Everybody I know is going through some sort of crap at the minute. Where you have the power is that you can choose to walk away from whatever is not serving you, whether that's external stuff, whether that's internal stuff, as I've said, whether that's behaviors, habits, thought patterns, sleep patterns, whatever, right? You have a certain amount of autonomy here in the choices that you make as to where you go from here, right? I've lost my mum recently and not had the support I thought I would have from my partner. Oh, I'm sorry, honey. I've been thinking what to do. I needed this today. I hear you, Charlotte. It's not easy. I get it. And I'm so sorry again for your loss. It really is a very sad time right now. It really is. And we still have the power and the sovereignty within us to pick a new path. Okay. Our temple path that came out today. So there's a massive call for us to come back to center and to connect to who we really are at our core. One of the previous cards, I think either at the beginning of this week or probably was the beginning of this week because I wasn't on Thursday, Friday last week, was, or maybe it was last week. I'm losing track of time with everything that's going on. Was get back to elemental, right? Get back to the basics of who you are and what makes you you, what you really want in this life. And then just look at what you can do to take small incremental, positive steps towards that. And some of that is going to involve walking away and letting go of other things. It's inevitable, right? We can't do one without the other. So I hope that was helpful to you in some way. Hey Bella, if you know anybody else who this might help, right, please feel free to share it with permission. Of course, we don't spam anybody here. That's not what it's about. I'm not about vanity metrics. It's about getting the message to the right people. Great to catch you live. It's so apt. I have a long-standing habit that I need to let go of. Thank you so much for bringing this to my attention. You are very welcome. That's my job, Kay. That's my job. And if anybody is ever interested in training with me in emotional freedom technique, then you can go to my website, emmastarling.com, and you can have a look at that. I'll put it in the comments. It may post on some destinations and not on others, but that's my website if you want to go and have a look. There's all the details about EFT training in there and various other things that I do, ways you can work with me. And I'm working on freebies as well and free resources for you to help you navigate this life, right? And to feel better naturally, no matter what is going on around you. So with all my love today and every day, I'll see you again on Monday on the Daily Tap. Lots of love. Bye for now.